Alright, now I'm about to talk about a topic I can make 1,000 videos on. This shit is so very important to me. It's input lag. It's lag, it's garbage servers. Now it seems like, although they make promises, this shit somehow manages to continue to get worse. It baffles my mind. I'm gonna be talking about a couple games in different genres. I play a lot of Tekken 7, man. I'm trying to get good at that game, bro. I'm gonna have to fuck around and go pro. Let me chill. It's the most challenging game I've played in a while. I'm absolute fucking ass, even though I've been playing this shit like crazy. Tekken 7 on the PS4 has 7.2 frames of input lag, which is 120.5 milliseconds, which is a little over 1/10 of a second. For the casual person, you're currently thinking, Agent, how can you dare complain about 1/10 of a second input lag? That is the time from which you click the circle button, and then the circle registers in the actual game, and then they perform the movement. Now, for people in the community, they're thinking 120? What the fuck? Because previous games like Tekken Tag Tournament 2 had only 100 milliseconds. In fact, there is a fucking list of people who have tested input lag on these games. Games like Injustice 2 have 88 milliseconds, which is pretty good. But once you start pushing better than that, like 70 milliseconds, like Guilty Gear, you start to get into the very fucking phenomenal realm. Now, I wish there was a simple way for me to test input lag, but unless you're some sort of fucking engineer and you can hotwire shit and I watched some videos, I'm not getting into that. Unless you know how to do that shit, you're not finding out the exact amount in 2K17, which is really a devastating blow. Now, anybody that plays the game, I'm talking about 2K, will tell you that there's at least 500 milliseconds of latency. If you call it double XP or Park After Dark, then it might be pushing 750. And if you're not from North America and you happen to be from somewhere like Germany or Australia, it's pushing over a second. That makes it almost impossible for you, if a playmaker drives left, to be able to react fast enough, even if you click the button at the same exact time as them. And so you can see why people that aren't in North America is automatically useless to play online. You're playing on garbage connection. If you want to kick back and just be super casual, do your thing. But even just trying to play remotely competitive, just anything somewhat serious against your friend online is thrown out the window. I'm telling you right now that the Tekken community is complaining about 120 milliseconds. And here over on 2K, we're dealing with somewhere pushing at least over 400. But definitely over 500 when we're playing on the park. This is my connection. It says 8 milliseconds of ping. 8. Over 900 megabytes down, 30 up. I'm saying this is good as it gets. My monitor, as good as it gets, tied for first in terms of input lag with any monitor on the market right now. My shit is wired. You go on the 2K website, it also tells you, give you some tips and tricks. It tells you to open up a few ports, make some other changes to your modem and your router settings, because it's gonna make sure you get the best possible performance. I've done all of that shit. I have the best possible setup for playing in circumstances where I should be dealing with limited and minimal input lag, and yet here I am complaining because I'm dealing with over 500 fucking milliseconds. Can you imagine the people with bad internet? Can you imagine the people that don't have the monitor, or the people that aren't playing wired, who the people if you're playing with Wi-Fi, game over. Your shit might be over a second, because playing on Wi-Fi is a death sentence. If you haven't opened up your ports, that shit makes a difference as well. But you do all of that and you're still left with a really bad result. You can't complain to 2K support about it, because what are they gonna do? Link you to the same fucking 2 articles that I've been over. I made the changes. This is as good as it could possibly get, and it's still awful. That's like coaching a YMCA rec team that's best player is Flight Reacts. That shit is fucking sad. That right there is depressing. The thing is, when you're playing on Pro-Am, it's actually pretty good. For online, like, the latency is, I mean, it's not the greatest. It could definitely fucking use some work, but it's solid. I can get used to that. I can play that competitively. In fact, you can try this shit out yourself. I want you to create a custom jump shot, use it in my career, and then use it to the point where you're just greening. Like, that shit is fucking cash money. I want you to use it that much. And then get on to the Pro-Am. And then use that same release on Pro-Am, and you're gonna notice you have to release it at a different point now because there's latency. But that's to be expected, because you just went from offline to online. Most games are gonna have over 100 milliseconds, right? But once you start pushing past 150, 200, 300, 400, what the fuck? Why are we in the 500 region is when it starts to get ridiculous. Because if you take that same release and bring it onto the park, it's not working whatsoever. It got to the point where I have to have a park release, a Pro-Am release, And then my career release, I don't play my career, so I don't have one. But if I did, I would have to have a separate release for my career because it wouldn't work on Pro-Am or on Perk the same way. So there's 2 online game modes, Perk and Pro-Am I'm talking about right now. And the difference between the 2 is so monumental that you can't use the same jump shot because you're gonna have different cues and different releases. We literally have to deal with, no exaggeration, 5 times the input lag on 2K. When you hop onto the Perk, everything begins to feel sluggish and clunky and slow, and it has that weird, it has like you're walking through molasses. It feels disgusting. Now, you may be thinking, Agent, you're taking this shit far too serious. I'm not taking this shit serious enough. I mean, I know there's somebody who knows how to test this shit. Please, if you know how to test input lag, please do an actual test, record yourself doing the test and upload that shit to YouTube. Please link me that as well. Email me, tweet me, do something to send that to me, because if 2K17 was on the list of these games here, the jump would be the worst game on this fucking list is what? Tekken 7 on the PS4 Pro, 135 milliseconds. So you'd make a jump from 135 to somewhere around 500. And just to put that shit into perspective is really, I think, it'll make me feel really good inside. The Tekken 7 series director got so cheesed because people kept complaining about input lag. This is what he said. It's quite frustrating to keep hearing this question when it's hardly relevant. Don't try to sum up the whole of the game's mechanics with one catchphrase. If Tekken gameplay feels good, is there really a point in asking this question? He even took shots at some of the people by saying this. By the way, what monitor you use when you play games? I would be more concerned about the possibility of lag on that instead. He's cheesed because people complaining about what he feels like is a non-factor. If I was him, I would have said, I guarantee y'all haven't played NBA 2K17 my part, because if you played that shit, you come right back onto Tekken, you would appreciate all the glory of 120 millisecond input lag. You would like to think that because 2K claims they're going in a competitive route, they claim this year skills are supposed to matter, although it doesn't. I put out a tweet the other day, this shit was so fast I couldn't believe it. I put up this combo, I said it'd take me more time to learn this combo on Tekken 7 than it would for me to learn all the dribble moves on NBA 2K17. I already made a video on this shit. I can make a video on the skills gap all fucking day. All day, because this shit is so important to me. My 2 favorite games of all time, Tekken 7 and SOCOM. Coincidentally, those 2 games are also the most challenging games I've ever played. There's just something about like playing a game that's super fucking difficult and then slowly, every day I work on low block and then punishing. Hit him with the 3-hit combo, 38 damage, cool. Next day I'm trying to add a hit. Next day I'm trying to learn a new combo. Next day I'm trying to parry and then punish. There's so much shit to learn and don't get me fucking started on this shit. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not gonna do it. I'm so fucking hopeful. I'm so hopeful because I want this game to be good so badly, because there's no way they make 2K18 and it's as badly received as 2K17 was. And so maybe it took 2K17 being this bad for people to really appreciate 2K16. I haven't done none of that shit, man. All I know is I'm a consumer, okay? And all I know is we all want a good basketball game. And for me, and it's gonna be different for you, some of y'all might not give a fuck about a skill gap. Some of y'all might be like, I wanna hop on and be the best person on the game immediately. Some of y'all might be like, I don't give a fuck if there's 2 seconds of input lag. I just want to play the game. And that might be you, but for me, these are 2 things that I cannot go without. And when you take that shit away from me, like in December, when all the new people came onto the game and this just started to lag more, when you take the input lag away from me, it just killed my fucking vibe. Some of y'all been telling me, Agent, all you do is complain on your channel. I haven't ranted in a quick minute. It's been a while, so I don't want to hear shit from you. Listen, I've been hyped, bro. I've just been trying to enjoy the game, man. Picking up with slashers, doing windmill, absolutely demolishing paint protectors. That's what I've been doing. I'm trying to enjoy the game. You know, it can get stale and dry at some points, especially when there's nothing going on and the perk events are just on repeat. It's the same exact fucking thing. Anyway, I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.